Secret chat, yay!
Um,
Oh, like on the Hangouts. Chat through there?
or yeah, if you need to tell me something secret, use the chat and Hangouts, or just or like it's just it. I can't normally have two monitors.
Right.
Sounds like
So
an excuse to me,
it's
Scott.
hard for me. So okay, but we'll go ahead and start. So you came across a two-masted brigantine. The words actually, there's no way you'd speak that language. So there's definitely letters on the side of the ship, but you don't know what they say because there's no way any of you speak GIF.
Comprehend languages. I would totally put it up there.
Okay. So
I'd hang off the side of the boat if I had to.
Yeah. So you actually know that it says IGS Falling Star.
Falling Star?
Yeah.
Okay.
Intergalactic gift starship.
Technically Imperial GIF Spelljammer, but people IGS. But again, you guys have no idea. You wouldn't actually know that. You would just see IGS Falling Star.
I actually probably wouldn't even know IGS because that's not words, so it doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because comprehend languages doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So gobbledygook, Fallen Star.
Mm-hmm.
But it's from your perspective, there is a brow, so you can border pretty easily. It looks like there's a weather deck. The forecastle and the fantail are both slightly raised above that. It looks like a brigantine. Like you guys, but some Marlowe, you during your research for Ezekiel Hornswoggle would actually know what layout of the ship. So in a standard ship, you have your forecastle, and your fantail are slightly raised above your main deck. Underneath the fantail is going to be the captain's quarters, and then you would have your gun deck would be the deck immediately below the main deck, and then you'd have a hold, and then you would have a bilge.
Are there guns in the gun deck?
Yes.
And it's empty?
The gun deck? You don't know.
No, the ship is empty.
There's no movement, but like.
Oh, we're still standing up looking.
You're looking up at it at this point. You're not.
Okay. Does it have sails? I mean, it has masts, but does it have sails?
It looks like it has reefed sails. Again, it's hard to tell what condition they are in because they are tied up right now.
The room that we're in it's solid. Like, can we see how they got it in there?
It looks kind of a Goonies thing. It looks like at one time the cavern you were in was open, and with proper application of force, you could probably open it back up.
Are there any giant fake octopuses in the water?
No, this is the cut version, not the unedited. Where you guys will reference the octopus, but it was cut off of the scene, so no one knows what the hell you're talking about. As far as but yeah, so you're just looking at it. You're not even technically on the pier yet. You're just looking at it through the door. But you don't see any movement.
Okay. I'm guessing that's it.
You sure it's not another one?
Well, I mean, we could look for another one.
I don't know if that's then puts quotation marks seaworthy. I don't know if we'd be able to leave.
Does anybody even know how to drive one of these things?
Now, that is a good question. Do any of you have any sailing experience? Or have any proficiency in sailing vehicles?
I'm pretty sure I've seen a sailboat before.
My plan was once we were getting on, I was gonna have full moon knock me out, so I'm not puking over the edge. I have no idea.
It can't be that hard, right? It does it itself, right?
Oh well, maybe this was a dumb idea. Let's just go. We'll find a better way.
Well, maybe we could pay somebody to do it for us. That might be easier.
Perhaps. I mean, maybe we can just go ask Molly. She didn't seem to be doing much when we were back in Cultrin's Rest.
So go back through the temple filled with traps and squiddy things and all that good stuff.
Well, look, it had to get in here somewhere. How? We'll just get it out now. We know where it is.
Yeah, but if we open that door, someone might come take it before we get back.
So how do we even get out of here?
Maybe it's got guns. Let's go check those out.
That's always
You can definitely, even from this vantage point, you can definitely see that there's guns.
It's all metal, right? It's a metal boat.
Nope.
It's not. Is it
Nope.
wood?
It's wood.
Wood?
Well, yeah. Again, it's kind of hard to tell from this distance, but it looks like wood.
I'm going to go up to it as close like I could get and check it out, see what it's made out of, and
Well, I don't have it. So it's not wood, but it's also not metal. It's
Fiberglass.
Living wood or living metal kind of thing. So it's like organic metal.
yeah, it's more like it's organic, but it's not. But it's also, from your vantage point as a dwarf, it's probably more, instead of it being, it's closer in hardness to stone, and almost like it's petrified.
all right. Well, I'm going to be very interested in it, and I'm just going to get out a journal and start jotting notes of everything that I'm seeing on it and everything.
The construction is immaculate. You don't. Every rivet is almost completely flush with the panel, so there's almost no. There wouldn't be any kind of drag. Everything is perfectly set. Despite how long this has obviously been down here, and you can tell that by the amount of barnacles that are growing on the pier and underneath the hull. You don't see any corrosion anywhere on any of the rivets, the metal bits, and you don't. It looks like each of the nails they're black, so you're thinking each nail is adamantine, which would make it unbelievably expensive.
Very interesting. Is there a way up onto the boat?
Yeah, there's the brow is at an angle, so you can get up there without any kind of issue. You do actually, as you're approaching around the pier, you see signs of that at some point people were loading and unloading the ship, but it doesn't look like there's been any movement recently.
All right.
So when you say movement recently, do you mean like there's been cobwebs on this boat that's been left? Or it's
Yeah.
along the lines of...
Like, you can tell that obviously people were coming on and off the boat at some point, but now there's cobwebs, there's dust. It's been a while.
So while you guys think about this, I'm gonna start actually taking care of the ship, and I'll start casting prestidigitation to clean everything.
Okay, so you're cleaning. Okay.
Yep, I'm just going to go up on the ship and start checking it out.
Okay, so Mealy, as you come out onto the ship, you again more of the same, just dust everywhere. But the actual deck of the ship is, how to describe this? It's obviously covered in dirt and it just hasn't been used in a long time. But you do see signs that that it was well maintained up into like a certain point, and then it just stopped. You also see, looks like the remains of creatures you're not particularly familiar with. The bones, like there's no flesh left. The bones are large, heavy skulls, very squat and broad, but like it would be taller than a dwarf, but not quite as tall as a human, but even broader than a dwarf. And the heads come to almost of a snout.
All right.
Is there a wheel?
Yeah.
Marlo's gonna walk
There's
right
a-
up to the wheel, grab it, and start giving off, like a monologue from that play. And
Okay.
Horatio Hornswoggle voice.
And actually, since you go up to the wheel, the wheel's on the fantail above the captain's quarters. What you actually notice, Marlo, is there is actually a human skeleton, and there's this instead of it being one of these broad, these other creatures, this is different from the rest of them. It's slighter, and it's very much human. There is a helmet, like a metal helmet, on the skull, and it looks almost attached to the skull of that one.
Okay.
Yeah. What remnants you could see of the clothing that's left? It looks very military, all blues with like fancy like epaulets and ropes, and everything looks very well taken care of when it would have been new. Now it's
Do I
pretty modern.
recognize any symbols, insignia? Once I see that, I'll go through and see if I can't figure out if any of this means anything to me. Like,
It pings a memory of something you briefly saw when you were in the abyss.
oh. Hey, Randall, come look at this guy.
Sure. Reynold comes over and looks at
Looks
this
at
guy.
You can make a history check and tell me what because I'm not monitoring that right now. But
Gotcha. I'm going to grab that real quick, and while I do so, I'm going to use my cool new invocation, Eldritch Sight, which allows me to detect magic at will without casting a spell slot.
Yeah.
I'm going to start making some use of that as well.
Okay.
Just 3. Just
The
a base.
entire ship
1d20
pings
plus-
magic.
I think.
This is 3.5. You'd be blind right now.
Yeah.
Rose up from the amount of magic around him.
That helmet.
That's a 13 on my history check, by the way.
Okay. So Rendell, you slightly remember seeing these creatures around, reminding you a lot of hippopotamuses. Hippopotami.
I think
These
it's
are the
hippopotamuses.
These are the GIF. GIFF. These are the
GIFF.
GIFs.
I will share this observation with Marlo like it's...
You don't really know much about these people. Just that they're a very militaristic race.
I will look at Marlo and be like, clearly it's a GIF. I mean, look at those uniforms. They're all about this whole military thing.
Sure.
And
I
knows.
knew that. Yeah, I just wanted to see if you knew that.
Yeah, I don't know. Never met him.
I'm gonna go back to my monologue.
Okay, so the detect magic, as I said, the entire ship is radiating it. The ship itself is radiating conjuration magic. Each of the cannons is radiating evocation magic. The weirdest thing is the helmet is not actually doesn't seem to radiate magic as much as absorb magic. It's still magical, but it's not. It's like absorbs the magic around it. Also, so you're also. I'm all assuming you guys are staying on top of the deck. Do any of you go into the hold or the bilge or into the captain?
I'll be making my way down there eventually as I'm cleaning, but I'm also going to do prayer rites for all the skeletons we find and move them off the boat.
Okay. So
Once I get done with my monologue.
Okay. So who's going where? Are you? Because right now, so you go to the main. You could go through the main ladder well down to the hold, or you could go to the captain's quarters. Those are your two options.
Go to the captain's quarters.
And I'll go to the hold.
Rindle's going to try and put the helmet on.
Okay, so let's see all three of these things. The captain's quarters. Who went to the captain's quarters?
I did.
Okay. You see a bunch of charts, a bunch of maps. Only they're not like water charts. They're not overland maps. They're star charts.
Mm-hmm.
And when you touch them, like they start out and they're like a map, but you touch them and they become like a 3D projection and have a bunch of coordinates.
That is very cool. I like these.
And as you touch each one, it then brings up another like topographical map of that individual planet.
Wow. How big are these charts? Can you roll them up or?
Yeah, they're big, but you could roll them up. They're the size rolled out. They're the size of a dining table, but you could roll them up.
Yeah, I'm like, these are kind of cool. I'll check them out and see if there's anything else in here as well.
Okay. So there's about 3 of these charts.
Uh-huh.
You also find a journal. You also find a skeleton that's a little bit more preserved than the other ones. It's drier in here, so there's more mummification going on. It looks, and he actually is wearing a bunch of these ropes and a bunch of medals. You're pretty sure this is this is the remains of the captain. This kind of sits at his desk. And there's a journal open. That's kind of the log. It's the last page. You can see you don't have comprehend languages cast, so you don't know what it says. And so and then the rest of it is just a well-appointed captain's quarters. There's a small bed. Most of it is taken up by his desk.
All right.
The hold. For those of you who went down to the hold, the first thing you're really greeted with is the gun. So you're on the gun deck, which is the first area, I should say. But at the very fore end of the gun deck is a large black crystal. Around this time, Brindle, as you put on the helmet, you feel a mental tugging. It kind of feels the exhaustion after you cast a spell, that brief ping of concentration. You can resist it or you can let it do its thing. It's up to you.
Oh, I'm ever curious. Let's see what it does.
Okay, so as it pulls in, spend one of your spell slots. Because you're a warlock, it's a 5th level spell slot, so everything turns on. So for those of you in the hold, suddenly the black crystal starts glowing white energy. And then Rindle, you see a bunch of characters appear, and like as you put on the helmet, it's first really dark. It's completely opaque, but suddenly a screen comes up, and you now can kind of see yourself. You can see like the back of yourself, like floating, as though you're seeing through something else's eyes, and you see some characters scroll across, and it starts like spinning through until it finally locks on to some common, and then it starts like energy accepted. Are you my new helmsman? Or are you the new helmsman?
Sounds about right. Sign me up.
Very well. Processing. Is the captain still alive?
Negative. All hands on deck were found deceased upon my group's arrival.
Are you understood? Reclamation process beginning. Who will be the new captain?
Oh my. We're actually on our way to get the captain. Do you know of a place called Eberron?
Searching. Yes. This ship is not currently equipped to handle the Kyber Belt. Request refit in the city.
Which city?
Question cannot extrapolate question. The city.
You're muted.
Yeah, I know. That was player knowledge. I don't want to go there. Options for refit available.
Sails could be replaced. Need new swivel gun for shooting down of aberrant crystal shards.
I think I know a place where we can do all of these things. Yeah. Is Kelkaran's Rest near some water?
Yeah, Kilkarn's Rest is on the water.
Cool.
You're actually really close to Kilkarn's Rest right now.
I kind of thought so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and convince the boat to go to Kelkaran's Rest for the refit.
Okay, it's still asking. Chain of command still needs to be established. Please designate captain, quartermaster, and master at arms.
Oh, good grief.
We have a boat.
Yeah, we'll make Melee be the captain.
Great.
Processing.
Congratulations!
Okay, so as soon as he does that, Melee, you're looking at this journal, and suddenly you feel a ping in your head, and suddenly that journal makes sense.
Oh, great. So I can read it now?
Yeah, in fact, you can read everything. You currently, as long as you are the captain of this boat, you have tongues cast on you. As long as you're within 20 miles of this boat. But
So
you also have vulnerability to psychic damage because you have a splitting headache the entire time.
That is not cool.
So that leaves, what would you say, Master at Arms and Quartermaster?
Yeah.
We'll make Full Moon the Quartermaster and Master of Arms. Go for it, Marlo. You can yell shoot at things when you're sick and hurling over the side, right?
Right, and so all these things come up. So weirdly, the quartermaster does not get any weird psychic.
Tucker, you're
Tucker,
muted.
you're muted.
I just want to put something out there because this is all happening.
Mhm.
Well, Marlo was going to do something else. So this could be bad because
Okay,
after
what's
Marlo
Marlo
finishes soliloquy, is there a crow's nest?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's probably pretty dark still in this thing, right?
Uh-huh.
He had two things. He wanted to go and look for any type of light sources, but he also wanted to climb up to the crow's nest and check out the sails.
Okay.
So this might be hitting while he's on a very high ladder.
Okay. So, Marlo, your little psychic ping is a little bit different than the captain's. Instead of having tongues and being able to read everything, yours, you get essentially a heads-up display from a video game. You now know the ammo stores and the food stores of your entire ship.
Great.
But you have no idea what just happened. All you can see is it's almost like there's a dot in your vision, only it's numbers. There's in the lower left-hand corner of your peripheral vision.
Okay, yeah, he's spent some time like rubbing his eyes.
With chain of command established, can we now move to Kilkaran's Rest?
Stand by. Also, with him doing that, as you're climbing, suddenly the sails unfurl. So I need you to make an acrobatics check. Because all the ropes start moving.
Right.
Sorry, Marlo.
You should be good at this.
You might want to open up the cave door.
That's a 12, Scott.
Okay. So you don't fall, but you kind of you have to like duck around and suddenly tackle and a bunch of ropes just start moving on their own.
Great.
It only goes to half sail. And you get advised, Rindle, that with as a little warning comes up. Warning: with the insufficient crew detected, recommend sailing cautiously until crew replenish.
Absolutely, that makes sense. Can you please warn the Master at Arms that we may need a hole punched into the wall?
You hear a weird, almost robotic voice coming like, Mr. Malachias, recommend to the helmsman wishes to let you know a passage needs to be opened.
I look around in the dark for the voice. I get my spear ready. Hello? Hello? Where'd that come from?
Although you can hear this, you can't, like, it's just that it's echoing off the chambers, and he's fairly high up, so it's... And all of you
Marlo,
heard the pipe
shoot a hole in the wall.
Can I hear that?
Yeah, you hear that.
Does it, like, I can hear him in the other deck, or like we're transmitting voice or something?
Like, it's coming from the same way that robotic voice came. Everyone else is just hearing the slight echo of Marlo, but it sounds like the helmsman can make pipes.
Rando?
Yes, Marlo.
Hey, yeah, so like, what did you do?
I've become the helmsman. You're the Master at Arms. You can now control all of the guns. We need a hole in the wall so we can go to the town and get this thing refitted for travel.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. How do I make a hole in the wall? Maybe
With the
Floman
guns.
should make a hole in the wall. He's the one who like blows things up, or you blow things up.
I have other jobs at the moment. Your job is to shoot the guns at the wall. Just focus on the task.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll go see if I can't figure them out, and I'll walk down to the level that I think the cannons are on.
Okay. So yeah, you go down to the gun deck. Give me a intelligence check to figure out if you know how to use these guns.
I'm pretty sure I don't.
Or if you can figure it out.
Just make it up.
Just a straight intelligence, or
Arcana check. We'll go in Arcana check.
yeah, 4.
Yeah. You've seen guns loaded before, but yeah, you have no idea. You do. Trying to think. Yeah, Terry, that's right. Main deck, gun deck, hold, build. You're pretty sure you could probably load up the cannon and fire it, like a normal cannon. So, it's
I
just
don't
gonna
think I
take.
know how to do that. Hey, Mealy! And he's just screaming.
Hold on.
I think you mean Captain Mealy.
Mealy!
Really don't know if I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
wondering
he is.
if Captain,
he's-
you might be able to.
He's screaming it. Like, he is yelling as loud as he can.
Got it. Thank you.
Scott?
Sorry about that. What's up?
So Marlo's just down in the cannon chamber
Mhm.
yelling for Mealy. And if she doesn't come, he's going to start looking around the ship for her.
Can I even hear him? Where I am?
No, you're still in the captain's quarters.
I'm still in the Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay. I mean, he is screaming, like shouting as loud as he can.
Oh, well, yeah. Then you could probably you probably hear something. You can hear melee.
All right, so
Yeah,
I'll
I go-
take the journal with me, and then I'll start trying to find the voice.
Okay,
That's yelling my
pretty
name.
easy. It's not. I mean, it's 132 feet long, so it's not. Doesn't take long to find him at all.
All right. I'll be like, what do you want?
So, like, you know how cannons work, right?
I suppose I do.
Melee, you would know.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's this weird disinvited voice that might be Rendell, or it might just be like something like trying to trick me into thinking it's Rendell, that wants me to blow a hole in the wall out there. But I don't really even know how this works.
And then I will give him the cliff notes on how to work a cannon.
Okay.
And I'll be like, "Are you sure you want to shoot a hole in the wall when you're hearing disembodied voices? Why don't you go ask Rendell if he's the one who told you that?"
Because if he did, he's just gonna make fun of me, and then he's gonna go look for Rendell.
Again, really easy to find Rendell. He has this weird, kind of oversized helmet. Doesn't look like he can see because it's completely like covering his face.
Can I
Are
see
you
him
a gift
approaching?
now?
But you can see. You actually see. You're seeing through like
Okay.
the ship's sensors. So,
Cool.
like you actually see Marlo approaching you because you can see yourself through the.
Gotcha. I'm gonna look at Marlo approaching, and probably at the same time he's asking his question, be like, "How have you not blown a hole in the wall yet? This doesn't seem so complicated. I have all of my jobs handled." Look, the power's on. The sails are fit. The sails are furled. You had one job: blow a hole in the cannon wall.
Uh-huh. Are you sure that's a good idea?
Well, we can't get out of here without it.
Yeah, but what if it, like, makes things come down on top of us?
Shoot low.
This
work
is
your way
not
up.
me. Mealy asked me if this was a good idea. And, she knows about these things.
Well, Mealy's the captain now, so if Mealy has a better idea for how to get this out of here, you're welcome to follow her commands.
I wouldn't be trying to read the journal at this time, trying to figure out what's been going on with the ship.
Okay, so it like the years don't make any sense because it's not. But so you don't exactly know the time frame, but you get the sense. But just it sounds like they were here on an exploratory like thing. The GIF lost their planet a long time ago. Their own homeworld, are constantly like trying to find one to settle. They were a member of the 11th Naval Fleet, and they kind of they ended up here, but some incidents happened, and an overload took out their helmsman, and the GIF themselves lack magical ability, so they couldn't leave. You also get a rundown of how the ship actually works.
All right.
Everything powered through spell slots, through magical ability. In order for anything, just powering up the ship usually like takes a first level spell slot. Since Rindle pumped a 5th level in because he's Warlock, he can't control it. He turned on everything. In order to actually break atmosphere, it requires a combination of essentially 6 first level spells, or 1 6th level spell slot, or you can make that up however you want.
2/5. We got this.
It also, and that'll power up your to get you exit velocity and the shields that prevent you from inhaling a bunch of what's called phlogiston, which is the stuff in between the bubbles of reality.
All right. Is there anything on how to get the boat out of the cave?
Oh, they intentionally sealed the cave guide. All you have to do is just take a cannon blast, and it actually points to it actually has a map of where the weak point is in the wall, and you can open up the cove again.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll blast a hole in that magical weak point.
Okay. So, so you're used to standard material world cannons, so it's a little surprising just how powerful these things are when you shoot them. But yeah, you blow a hole, and Marlo, your little heads-up display goes down by 1 number.
Son of a bitch! Give me an eye! And my ears.
Yeah, they were just up there. So it opened up the cave.
Yeah, the cave is opened up, and as soon as you do, actually, the water starts actually rising in this cave, and the ocean outside is slightly higher than here, so it kind of floods in.
All right.
So as soon as I hear this sound, I'm going to run up and try to figure out what's going on, because nobody seems to want to tell me anything. What is going on here?
You're ruining my fun.
since you made it down to the hold full moon, you would have actually there was about 6,000 gold down there.
Was. I'm just kidding. I'm
No,
just kidding.
he
I'm not
does.
gonna touch
He does have a bag that he could hold all that into.
And there was stores, but like again, it's so old that you're pretty sure you don't want to eat any of it. There are probably some of those crackers that never go old, though, like because they're always stale. Those are down there. But, yeah. So yeah, you guys can easily get it out of there.
Okay, so I'm pretty much trying to find the first person, trying to figure out what's going on. I'll pass them. I found a bunch of stuff. I'm still cleaning down there. I still need more time. But what is going on? Nobody wants to say anything to me.
I got something in my eye.
Okay, hold still. Tilt your head back. Okay, I don't see anything.
Randall at this point is gonna be like, listen, for those of you not keeping track, and he's just pretending like everyone should know because it's fun for him.
So wait, I
Miley's the
gotta
captain now. Miley's the captain. I'm the helmsman. Marlo, you're the master at arms, which means cannons are your problem. Figure them out. Full Moon, you're the quartermaster. So everything on board is technically yours to ensure we have enough supplies and get enough supplies, and the ship's funds are yours to allocate as necessary to get those supplies.
All I heard was everything was mine, so I'm good with that. But what is going
thought it
on?
might
What
be.
made that noise?
Oh, that was me turning this thing on.
Can I hear you?
Can you what?
I know I can hear you, but can you hear me? Is what I was
Yeah,
wondering.
because
I have all the sensors.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do have all the sensors. So yes, he can hear
Okay,
you.
Rindle's voice. Then sounds good. But what was that noise? Still, nobody said anything.
The noise where I turned the ship on?
No, the
Oh,
noise where the cannon exploded, where the cannon shot down the wall. It was deafening to everybody.
Well, I just explained that, he was shooting cannons, so...
I just want to say I didn't actually do that. That one's not my fault. Unless it gets us out of here, and then I'll totally take credit. So when Rendell is talking,
Mhm.
besides just him talking to us, do we see him acknowledging, like, because he doesn't actually have to look at us to look at us.
Right.
So, like, when he is, what does it look like from our end speaking to him?
Creepy.
Well, since you're right next to him, it's really creepy because you not only hear his voice, you also hear him through the speakers.
I am gonna reach out and just want to make sure you're okay, and knock a little bit on the side of the helmet on him.
Oh, that actually. So when you hear that, Rendell, it's like somebody like took a bell like over your ears. It gives you a huge migraine the moment he does that.
I would like to nut punch Marlo and tell him to never do that again.
Okay, so what's the plan here? You can drive now? Is that what is happening?
Yes, we're going to Kilkarn's Rest. We need to refit the sails, stock up on ammunition and food stores for our voyage to get Mist.
Okay, so Rindle, so you're a charisma-based caster. So, in order to control the ship, normally you're going to have to do a charisma skill check. It would normally be with proficiency if you were proficient in ships, but you're not. So,
Gotcha. So just roll charisma check.
yeah, it's a low DC. It's like 10 to get out of this cavern without running into anything.
I got a 20
That's good.
modified, but there's a 20. I think we're
Okay.
gonna make it to
So
Kilkarn's
you
Rest.
don't run into anything leaving this cavern. For essentially a spaceship, it's really slow, but because you're kind of at half speed on the water, but you're able to get out.
Does he have to go to the wheel to do that, or can he control everything right from this engine rock room?
Well, he's at the wheel. That's where the helm is. He hasn't actually gone in anywhere. The rock.
Oh, okay.
You get the sense that the helm is connected to the rock, but he is actually still at the wheel. Like it's wireless transmission of power, basically.
Phenomenal cosmic power.
Technically, Rindle hasn't been inside the ship yet. He's just been on the fantail.
But I can see it all now anyway, so. I am the ship.
But you and then where do you want to head once you get out of there? You're muted.
Unless there was a gangplank wide enough to pick up my carriage, I'm going to head us towards Kilcoran's Rest.
Okay. There is a crane on the boat, so if you want to stop and grab your carriage, you can.
I would love to stop and grab my carriage.
Very
Okay.
nice.
So,
Could probably do that.
What was that?
so
Chris?
yeah, you would.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I just said we should probably do that.
So you the davit. So when you pull over to get there, that's actually, I'm not going to have skill checks, but it actually requires pretty much everybody to get the carriage onto the davit, and it's basically now occupying a lifeboat slot. But yeah, you continue on, and then you're heading back to Kilcoran's Rest after you grab that.
Are there lifeboats?
There was. Now there's not.
The carriage is the carriage is technically a lifeboat now.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't need lifeboats anyways. We're master sailors out here.
Mm-hmm.
So now the carriage.
So as I said, you're moving real slow right now without a proper crew. So it takes a good probably day and a half to get back to Kilcoran's Rest. You're going about 4 knots.
So what I plan on doing, the bottom, pretty much clean up the bilge, things along those lines, put what I can inside the bag, ready to go with that end, and then also do my ritual or I can to make it Shar's place in the bottom portion of it.
Okay. So the bilge is now a temple to Shar.
Does this boat list like a boat would, or
it's a smoothish ride, but give me a Constitution save.
$18? Sorry, I keep forgetting
Okay.
you can't see.
Yeah, it's better. It's the best ride Marlowe's been on in terms of sea state. So
Okay.
you're probably a little tired, but you're not getting nauseous. So, but you guys get back to Kilcoran's Rest in like a day and a half. What are you going to do once you get there? As you pull into the dock, I actually need another charisma skill check from Rindle because you know how to drive the boat. You're not entirely sure you know how to park the boat.
I was worried you might say that. I was like, maybe we'll just pull up offshore and swim. Oh, dice gods be with you. Oh no.
Oh,
Dock crashing. Dock
can we
crashing.
help him? Can we help him at all?
Oh no, not really. It's.
Do I have to try and park? Couldn't I just stay offshore? Drop anchor? Call it good?
Do you want to drop anchor? You could probably drop anchor.
Yeah, I think it would have been smarter to do that and get an actual crew to help bring this thing in. Maybe they've got
Okay.
tugs.
So you guys drop anchor. There's no tugs, but you do drop anchor. You do have to swim, unfortunately, because you dropped off your dinghy to pick up your carriage. So
When we disembark,
mhm.
does like the little readout go away?
Can Rendell actually remove the helmet, or is he a permanent fixture of the boat now?
As soon as you do, though, the entire ship shuts down.
That's fair.
Like as you pull off the helmet, the sails re-reef themselves.
Secured.
Yeah. Here, as everything kind of shuts down.
So I'm going to tell everyone to gather up on deck and let's plot our course forward here. We probably shouldn't leave the boat unchaperoned. It's a swim into shore because I don't think I'm good enough to park it. We probably should get a crew, food supplies. The boat says we need better sails and ammunition for the trip. And Miley, by the way, you're the captain now, in case you missed the memo. So the boat's going to be looking to you to be the captain. Need you to step up a
and
little
when
bit.
it powers down melee, it suddenly you can't. That tongue's ability is gone.
It's gone. All right.
Technically, the readout disappeared when it powered down. Marlowe's readout also disappeared when it powered down.
The ammunition for the cannons,
Mhm.
canyons, the cannons. Does it look special?
Look, no, but you can tell that it's forged better than you think you could probably make on this world. Like it's too perfectly round.
Like, do we think like if we were to go in and buy ammunition here, it would work?
It would work. It just probably wouldn't be as effective as your ammunition.
What are our stores? You know, since I had a number in my eye.
Okay, so you had there was 200, so now it's 199, I guess,
Okay.
of those. But your swivel gun is empty, and that's what you need in order to break through the Kyber belt, because you need something that can actually turn and aim.
Okay. And what does that fire?
It fires smaller, like 3-inch shots, but
Are they just round shot or?
yeah, they're round shot. But the swivel gun, you probably would have asked in a day and a half or figured it out. But the swivel gun, it's an explosive charge, so you need somebody that can actually make an explosive charge.
Is it bone dry or just so low that we could not have gone?
The swivel gun stores,
Yeah.
there's probably 5 shots left.
Okay, that's enough. He'll take a couple of the ones we had.
Okay.
Maybe Nibs can do something.
Rendell will volunteer to stay with the boat because,
Well, I'm going to stay with the boat because I'm wearing full armor, so I'm not swimming ashore.
maybe we should purchase a new
Have to
dinghy.
walk along the bottom.
Any of you know Semaphore could probably ask for a boat.
Yeah, I was going to say, we could probably rent or
signal.
buy a new dinghy.
Yeah. Well, Marlo could probably swim because he's probably the best swimmer, and then get someone to come back.
Yeah.
People up.
Yeah, I'm not going to make it an athletics check. It is unbelievably cold, but
That's
yeah,
what he
you're able
gets.
to. So you make it to shore. You're going to grab a boat and come back.
Yeah, so that
Okay.
anyone who wants to can. Because plus, we're gonna have to move things back and forth.
Yeah. Okay, so you come back with a small boat and grab whoever wants to leave.
Yeah.
By the way, so for the sleeping quarters situation, it's a boat. So the captain has a bed. Everybody else has hammocks. So
Reno doesn't sleep. That's fine.
That comfortable. um, but the yeah. So, what do you guys want to do in town?
So what we said we needed supplies, ammo, crew. What else?
That's pretty much all we need, I believe. So I guess when we actually get back on the land, to let people know that I plan on trying to get food as well as people, because I'm sure I can get some wonderful volunteers to help us.
Okay.
And Marlo's gonna go try to get people too, just so that they're not all full moons.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the nearest bar and get the biggest barrel of ale that I could get.
Scott, do you know by chance how many people we need? And hopefully Rendell would have passed that number to us.
So for a minimal crew complement, you would need 40 people. So I guess 35 extra people. For a full crew complement, you would need 100.
That is going to be a lot of gold to pay them each week.
Well, have to be pirates then.
Well, not necessarily. If I don't have to pay them, we don't have to pay them.
The only people we're going to have to pay is the people that Marlo finds.
What do we actually need the crew to do? Since like a lot of this seems to be kind of automatic, like the sales and the.
You need the 40 people. The cannons are not automatic. You need at least for a truly efficient firing. You need 2 people per cannon, and there are 16 cannons on each side. And then you need lookouts.
Oh, okay. Did any of the journals give Mealy any idea of how dangerous this trip is?
You don't get any reference on Eberron, but Rendell, you probably, if you would have looked at Mealy probably would have looked at the charts that she grabbed. And so the Kyber belt around Eberron is it's an asteroid belt of demonically charged crystal objects, each one the size of about Texas.
Right.
We're gonna blow those up with a swivel cannon.
Well,
Blow up Texas.
Avoiding the big ones is not the problem. It's avoiding all the high velocity small ones that's actually a problem. Those are the ones that you have to actually worry about. You can dodge the big ones, but when the 2 big ones collide together, all that crap goes everywhere, and that's what you usually have to shoot down with the swivel gun. The swivel guns actually are automated, and they're extremely short range. They're like a way of shooting down space debris. You also somewhere in the cabin would have gotten an explanation of what phlogiston is. Phlogiston is a highly volatile substance. When magic interacts with it directly, or like when fire, electricity, or force interacts with it directly, it has a tendency to explode. And that's the stuff you fly through during trip. So, and it is highly toxic to organic life, which is why the shields are so important to be maintained. And it requires the equivalent of 5 spell slots every 8 hours to maintain the shields on this ship.
Okay.
So, but do we know all that, or is this Rendell's character?
That was the
actually
captain.
mostly-
We pulled all that
Yeah,
from the journals.
Uh-huh.
So Melee knows all that.
Yeah, I would have told people.
I would have paused all that.
You also get reference to the city, which is kind of sits in the middle of the plane, and sits in the middle of the material plane. It is an entire planet that's just been overtaken by a city, and its name has been lost to time. But all the kind of outcasts whose worlds have been destroyed by one catastrophe or another ended up there. And you can find just about anything you need there if you want somebody with a little bit more experience in spell jamming.
That sounds way better than the city I was thinking you meant.
Yeah, okay.
So
The only thing you have to deal with that is it's also called the City of Guilds because it's run by 10 guilds.
just because he would be in a hurry
Mm-hmm.
to try to get to Mist as soon as possible, Marlowe would want to go for the minimum crew.
Okay.
But that would be his input, so I don't
Mhm.
know how other he's pretty easy to overrule. So
Okay.
Yeah, but how many people are you bringing, or how many people did you tell me you were going to bring, so we can have the minimum amount?
Well, I that might involve some rolls. So Marlowe's plan is he's going to first go to Nibs to
Mhm.
bring Nibs the ammo and see if we can't get some of that made. But he's also going to talk to Nibs and see if maybe Nibs and some of his Vieran friends might want to sign on, because we could probably pay them less because new crazy technology that they'll be interested in.
Okay. Well, so he's very much interested in joining you. He doesn't know if he can duplicate that particular shell. He's never seen it. He effectively opens it up, but he's never. Explosive is actually weirdly not the problem. It's the fuse. He's never seen a fuse that.
Well, and the other thing is Marlowe's thinking that, they can bring some Vieran on who maybe can work on this actually on the ship so that we can leave before it's all finished.
But Nibs does that. That he's very interested in going. He'll work on it on the ship. He can bring. He knows like 10 Viren that are looking for work right now, so he can bring.
Okay. And then his other thing is Marlowe wants to just find, because we know we're running into shit, he's going to go to the big fancy tavern, and he is looking not for a large group of people, but maybe like 5 or 6 either soldiers or pirates who know their way around some cannons.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Not great.
11.
11.
Okay. Yeah, you get about 4 people. You're pretty sure that they're pirates. But it's the slow time. It's a slow time for them, so they're perfectly willing to go off on some type of adventure.
And then,
Oh.
anyone who, and then, if there's people in here that he thinks probably at least have some boat experience, who maybe the drunks who don't have anything better to do right now.
Okay. You can probably get like 2 drunken sailors. So that's what, 4, 10. You've gotten 16 people.
Yeah. So we need 20 more, right? 16 plus 4 plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Fulmin's going to go and locate 45 people. We're gonna have a couple people that are specialized, looking for a cook, looking for a cartographer / map person, looking for someone to possibly do holiday services and ceremonial services, an ambassador, as well as a what's it called? Someone for, I can't even think of the name. Someone for locking people up. I can't remember what it's called. Like a jailsmith kind of thing, as well as shackles.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
He works for the Master at Arms. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then pretty much I'm going to look for special people to follow around our captain, follow around our quartersmith, as well as our armorsmith, just in case they need anything.
Okay, give me a persuasion check.
And he recruits entirely from the cult.
Oh, I'm
The
expecting.
club. The club. Let me look for it.
The club.
Yeah.
I just want
Is
to
the
know how
club
many
that
people.
big? Does he have 45 people in the club?
Oh,
Here in Kilcaran's Rest, we had a huge following.
yeah. Now a lot of them died,
Huge.
but
Accidents
Death
happen all the
is-
time.
Death is but the beginning. Ask my next
Mhm.
character.
yeah.
I got a
That-
23, 2-3.
Okay. Yeah. You. I wouldn't say 45, but you get about 38 people. You have to leave somebody around your club in order to make sure your club's not abandoned here.
Of course.
So, yeah, you've come away with about 38 people.
I'll get you their names.
Yeah. So 38. So you now have you guys have a full crew now. They're fairly competent. And you have a way of you have people that can make weapons. Is there anything else you want to do in town before you set off?
I wanted to make sure we got food. Anything we've done with the trade, things along those lines, try to get what we can that won't necessarily spoil right away. And then for some reason, someone's going to tell me that we're going to need some kind of fruit, some kind of citrus stuff. I'm not sure why, so I'm going to get that anyway.
And Randall said sails because the boat said we needed better sails.
Okay, so the sails, and you guys would have completely realized this in the last day and a half. The sails are not made out of cloth. You have no idea what they're made out of, but they ain't made out of cloth.
And Rendell tell us what they're made out of, so that we can go find him. I can't get what he wants if he doesn't tell me what he wants.
All I'm hearing is excuses right now, Full Moon.
I'm asking for what you need, and I'll get it for you.
You guys, it would be impossible to identify what it's made out of.
So, would we have been able to check the logs before everyone left to see former requisitions made by the captain or previous quartermaster?
Oh, you would have found the quartermaster's log. It's called ethereal sails. You don't know what the hell they are.
Well, we know what they are. We don't know what they are.
And it was picked up in the city
So
from the
I could ask
guild.
Arazu if he knows of anywhere to procure ethereal sail other than the city.
Arazu, I have no idea what ethereal sail is.
Useless. Guess we're gonna have.
So
to
here's
go
your
to the
cloth
city.
we got. Here's your cloth you got for us. Make sails out of it, quartermaster.
You're the quartermaster.
So all those people you bought, none of them are seamster, tailor.
No, there's like 3 that know how to sew. They can probably make you sails, but it takes a while.
But they have to be special sails, so it's irrelevant. Maybe we can trade that at the city, since it looks like we're going to have to go to the city for proper supplies. Pit stop.
How much did you guys have to spend
So-
to get all of the supplies?
Yeah. So
We have
first,
Mist's entire coin supply. Don't worry about it.
no, you don't. But the the stores. So I'm trying to calculate here. You picked up 16, 54 plus another 4. Sorry. How many weeks worth of stores did you guys pick up?
How many weeks did he say it was going to take us? I would have tried to get that plus another 2 weeks just in case.
It would have taken you. It's going to take you a week to get to the city, another week to get to Eberron. So you want to pick up 4 weeks worth of stores?
Depending on how much it costs, but most likely yes.
Okay. Let's see.
This is why we need mist so we can have those good berries.
Yeah, full month's worth of stores for a ship with a crew of 58 people is going to be it's going to be about 500 gold.
And then you said I found 5,000 down in the hold?
6,000.
Yeah, you found 1,000.
6,000? Okay, so that'll deduct that then.
Okay.
Hey, Scott.
Uh-huh.
In my conversation with Arazu, does he have any information about the city, or if I might be able to extrapolate enough with which we could use the carriage to travel there?
What was the last question? He does have information, but what was your last question?
If there might be enough with which to extrapolate to travel to the city via the carriage to get the sail and bring the sail back to here. I'm kind of looking for ways to not risk putting the ship at risk by taking it to the city.
Okay.
Where people will know what it is.
He doesn't recommend taking the carriage to the city, mainly because they have they have issues with planar travel. Like it's not so much that it's not like Eberron where it actually actively prevents it, but they have there's weird shunts in the city called gates that he recommends you don't travel there that way. But he says that he does have contacts there. If you need to try to get a hold of somebody from the Demir League, they'll be the most.
It's my favorite color combination.
You'll be able to get. They're the most. In terms of personality, they're going to be your best bet.
Oh, they're my peeps. I got you. So, yeah, I would like to start making arrangements in advance before we go there, I guess. Maybe things can be ready before we arrive.
Yeah, Arazu will let them know to be on the lookout for you.
Do you let the rest of us know?
I was having this conversation while you were ashore, but sure, once you get back, I'll let you know that because you'll have to tell me you couldn't find ethereal sails here, and then, yeah. So, yes, I will.
Just because we've got
everyone that
for bribes if we need that.
Yeah, I will definitely inform everyone that since we can't find the sails we need here, I've put out feelers in the one place where we know we can find them. Hopefully, a shipment will be ready for us upon arrival. They'll be looking for us. And then I will probably also have a conversation with Full Moon about the helm and how it appears to work with spell slots, so that if for some reason the boat takes more than I have to offer, he knows how to pick up the helmet and take over so that we don't immediately suffocate and die in this flagellum.
So otherwise, so your preparation's complete. You gonna set off?
Yeah.
Yep. Letting the crew do as much as they can to earn their way, but I'll have the ship do what the ship has to do.
Okay. So it's going to be both of your spell slots to get it, because it's going to be. So you take off. You actually now the ship, seeing that it has it got not a full crew, but a crew, an actual crew, you're actually moving a lot quicker now. You're moving about 25 knots into open ocean, and then you start speeding up real quick. And
88 miles per hour.
no, that would be time travel.
And I have to maintain the helmet while we're doing this, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
And
like-
that's not a restful experience.
No.
Cool.
You do get let know that if you you can, once the shields are deployed, you can take off, you can store spell slots in the crystal and not have to have it depower. So but yeah, you eventually make escape velocity, and just it's like you flew off the side of the world.
Suck it, Flat Earth Society.
And you exit escape velocity, go past your dual moons, and you're now going insanely fast, like 1/10 the speed of light fast, and you are approaching. It looks like a glass wall in front of you, and it's like you popped through a bubble, and then you're in this weird cloud of reds and purples that's being kept at bay by this invisible shield. And for about 4 days, so you actually would get a spell slot back, because it only takes one spell slot, one of your spell slots per day, Brindle, to keep it on its course.
So I get spell slots per short rest, not long rest, too, if that factors into your math at all. So I don't know if I can actually bank
you're
some.
right. So yeah, you
If I can start
it
banking,
actually doesn't cost. Yeah.
then I will.
So.
Which is, can only the helmsman spend spell slots, or can anyone on the boat?
Well, anyone who comes on the helm. The helm is what sucks out the spell slot.
Okay.
But things continue on. About 3 days in, though, you've whoever is on the helm, which it doesn't always have to be Rindle. People could take over
I
the
don't
helm.
sleep. I don't sleep. He'll probably just hang out there. You know.
You start hearing a chirping coming through the helm, and you actually see it like message, incoming message, incoming message.
I will check the message.
Okay. And suddenly a display appears, and Becca, what do they see?
This is Captain Miss Toby of the Astral Scythe. I am under attack by 4 Githyanki slaver vessels, requesting assistance from any able-bodied spelljammer. In location, and then it's the 9-digit, 9-point coordinates of where I am.
Okay.
Over the loudspeaker, I will say, now, Captain Melee, lay the helm. Captain Melee, lay the helm.
Like, yes, helmsman.
I will inform him that I've received a message from what appears to be Mist, who is captaining her own vessel under attack. And I've got coordinates, but she is currently under attack. I don't know if we qualify as battle ready. That's your call, Captain.
Yeah, I'll start issue the warning for battle readiness and go to wherever the coordinates are.
Okay. Doesn't take long. It takes like an hour. I'm going to say that, Rindle, you're going to have to expend a spell slot to hurry there. And you guys...
Is there an option to respond to the message? Or are we receive only kind of thing?
You can respond.
Cool. I'm going to respond with a, hey, bitch, help's on the way.
Mist, Astrid is like, we got a response.
Yes, what is
It's
it?
kind of improper, honestly.
What is it, Astrid?
It plays the message for you.
Holy shit, it's Rendell!
Okay, and for you guys, I'm assuming you're sending everyone to battle stations before you're.
Yeah.
So you
once
see, I'm sorry. What?
yeah, sorry. So once it's set, but we've been drilling pretty much every day as usual to make sure everyone's tip top shape.
Oh, so everybody is. So it's like 4 days in. So everyone's like, again. Jesus Christ. the and yeah, you guys come in view is five very similar looking ships. One looks like it's being chased by four other ones. They're significantly smaller than your ship, about half the length. Only one mast on each of them. They are with four sails. They're about 74 feet long, and they're coming towards you. You're coming towards them, and I know we start late, but I'm gonna have to stop there early because I need to do this on a map because naval combat is hard. There's a lot of facings and directions and stuff, so that's where
My
we'll
other
stop
question is there a captain's hat? There has to be a
Yes,
captain's hat.
there is a
You can buy
captain's hat.
one in town. What the hell?
If there wasn't one already there, I'm wearing the captain's hat.
Yeah, it is
Someone
the
brought a
most.
cat, right?
It is like Pirates of Penzance, the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen in your life.
I will be
And
wearing
it's
it.
for your head.
Mhm.
So it's because it's probably for a hippo person.
Yeah, it's for a hippo person. And so,
That's fine.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right.
and I will also, I will send you the rules. Whoever, I'm going to send you the rules for how I do naval combat. So you're going to.
You should just put them up here in the journal.
Oh, that's where they're going to be. They're going to be in the journal for you guys, so that you guys.
Cool.
Because
Ramming speed.
yes, that is a thing you can do.
Yeah, so
You know that's the thing that we're going to do.
Yeah. Did we get a name for the ship?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's
Falling
currently
Star.
called. Yeah, the IGS Falling Star, but you could rename it.
We can
And-
get a better name.
And we'll vote on the name. Just bring up, suggestions.
You're the captain. You're the captain. We don't need a vote. You're the captain. You get to pick the ship.
Is there like any cool like dwarven names like from where I'm from, Scott?
I'm sure I will have to. I will have to look at my notes for him though.
All right, yeah, we'll just pick from one of those.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Yep.
See you next week
See
ya.
or
See ya.
tomorrow night for
Welcome
some
back,
of you.
Miss.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
See you
Yep.
tomorrow.
Yep. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
See ya.